Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek and Tech podcast. This is Ramon Mejia here, flying solo this week for episode 118 of the podcast. Every single week I bring you the round week's best geek and tech news. Discuss that news, of course, anything else that I'm interested in this week. And this week I'll be talking about a couple of great stories. Red Dead Redemption getting delayed, Justice League Troubles, who's been playing Nathan Drake, and the Uncharted movie coming up, Spaceballs 2 rumors, of course, the movie trailer showdown, and much, much more. Of course, we begin the show, though, with Geek News. And, of course, we begin the show, though, with our very top story here. It's going to be talking about patent trolls, and, of course, a wonderful Supreme Court decision that kind of put a nix on a lot of those strategies. This Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in an 8-0 decision. That means everybody on the Supreme Court, everybody, ruled in favor of this, that patent infringement suits can only be filed in courts located in the jurisdiction where the target company is incorporated. This overturned a ruling last year by the U.S. Court of Appeals for Federal Circuit that suits could be brought anywhere a company's products are sold. Kraft filed a suit against Heartland Beverages of Indiana in a Delaware court. More than 40% of patent lawsuits in the United States are filed in the Eastern District of Texas. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote the majority opinion. Basically, while this sounds kind of boring, it means that it'll be harder to sue other people for patent infringement. And while this may seem like small, for some people it's really big business to essentially buy very vague patents and then sue big name companies like Apple, Microsoft, any number of people with money, and say that you're violating our patent. And what happens is that they will then file that suit in a district that is favorable to patent holders. And in this case, like I said, 40% of all the patent lawsuits in the United States are filed in one county in Texas. And that's for a very good reason, because that particular county almost always decides in favor of the patent holders, no matter what the case is generally. So this will hopefully stop those type of lawsuits that are essentially just money-making schemes. And that's great for me. I mean, to me, that's a good thing. So progress marches on. Okay. Our next story, we're already jumping into video games. We had Rockstar Games has announced that Red Dead Redemption 2 will now be released in spring of 2018. Originally, it was slated for end of the 2017 year release. Sorry, guys. The studio said they needed more time to make the game as best as it could be. And you've been waiting literally years for this game to come out, so a few more months I don't think is a huge deal, but it is going to be delayed, so sorry about that. Okay. Next, we have Sony Pictures. Nathan Drake, another video game character, is getting his own live-action movie. Think Lara Croft as a dude, with pecs and, in a better actiony Indiana Jones. That's the kind of video game that is for the Uncharted franchise. And Sony Pictures has decided on who's going to play a young Nathan Drake. In this case, they're going with their Spider-Man Homecoming star, Tom Holland. So there you go. So you're going to get Tom Holland as a young Nathan Drake. So good for him. Now, in some sadder news, director Zack Snyder is stepping away from post-production process of the Justice League. So he's stepping out as director. His wife is stepping down as a producer. And it's because they have personal matters in their family to deal with. Their daughter committed suicide a couple months ago, and nobody really knew about it. It didn't go around, and wasn't newsworthy for most people until the director and his wife stepped down from production. And it's very sad, and we wish them good times to spend with their family. But in the meantime, Joss Whedon, director of the Marvel's Avengers and a bunch of other stuff you probably know, is taking the reins of the post-production portion of the Justice League. So there you go. That might tie into some of the rumors that the Justice League is reshooting some scenes for their movie, or not. We don't know. Okay. This past Thursday at Phoenix Comic Con, a dude walked into the to the convention with real weapons, like guns and knives and rifles, with real bullets, and he apparently thought he was the Punisher. Law enforcement stopped him from hurting anybody, but the man claimed that he was there to kill bad police officers and also to target one particular celebrity And in this case, it turned out to be Jason David Frank, who played the Green Ranger on the Power Ranger show. So he was actually there to murder an actor, the Green Ranger, because he's evil sometimes in that show. So that was a thing that happened, and like somebody took cosplay a little too far, which is actually what Jason David Frank said in like a press interview. We should cosplay responsibly. I'm like, okay, that's a response. Nothing bad happened. Okay, also Justice League Dark, which is still in pre-production phase, has lost its director. He has already dropped out of the Gambit film, and now he's dropped out of the Justice League Dark film, and because he has another project that finally got greenlit, and he's going to go do that thing. So I guess superhero money isn't enough to just get any director you want. So the studio is currently looking for their latest director for the film. And yes, if you can spot the small white dog behind me, you get extra bonus points. Okay, earlier this week, Mel Brooks attended a screening of a horror comedy film, 1974, Young Frankenstein, and had a Q&A afterwards. Now, the director and writer actually answered an audience question saying that Spaceballs 2 is a closer possibility these days, with the Star Wars franchise being such a huge hit again with episodes 7 and 8 coming out, and of course the prequel of Rogue One. Mel Brooks said that there's been a renewed interest in creating Spaceballs 2, so if you're interested in that, go tell the studios that you'd watch that and pay money for it. So there you go. Okay, also this week there was a leak of an Inhuman clip trailer, probably intentional because it looks CG-dac. But if you've been looking forward to this franchise, this little tiny clip from Twitter, posted from an Inhuman Twitter handle, showed the main character and, of course, the dog of the family, who has like a tuning fork for a head, teleporting into the middle of a street, Lockjaw, and it was kind of a cute little clip. So if you want to go check that out, we have a link in the show notes for you to go to watch that. Okay, Vanity Fair has some very interesting Star Wars photographs from Star Wars Episode 8, showing Luke and Leia hugging each other. We have Rey jumping around, looking, in her training outfit, I think. And of course, we have Kylo Ren with his weird cross lightsaber. So, and of course, there's some other photos. So go check out the link in the show notes for all those videos or all those pictures for Vanity Fair. Okay, Movie Trailer Showdown. We only have a couple trailers that came out that I thought were amazing and awesome, and I'll tell you about them. We have Game of Thrones Season 7 trailer came out, Despicable Me 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, their latest trailer, and Castlevania. The Game of Thrones Season 7, a little bit of news on that. Apparently that season is only going to be like 6 episodes. So we're going to finish up Season 6 and then on to Season 7. And it's just going to be 6 episodes, and that's it for the Game of Thrones. They're done. They're already way ahead of the books, where the books are currently. They're in unexplored territory. And so after Season 7, that is it for now, until George R. R. Martin finishes catching up and, passing them up, which may be like 20, 30 years from now. We don't really know. He's a slow writer. So there you go. But for me, they were all really amazing trailers. Despicable Me was surprisingly funny to me. Groot, I forget the name of his main character. I think it is Groot. He meets his twin brother, and so there's an adventure there. So, and he's tempted back to the dark side or the villain side. But for me, I'm going to say that Game of Thrones was oddly enough the winner. I don't even watch the show, but even I was like, "Oh, those dragons, hey!" And that's always a big draw for that particular program. Dragons, and this has plenty of action. I get why the program is so big and fun and interesting for people. For me, it's never was huge for me. Maybe I'll go back and watch it again, see what the big hubbub is about. But plenty of armies marching across Westeros, fighting each other. The Dragon Lady and her Kalrathi horde finally reach the shores of Westeros, so there's going to be an actual battle between them. So it's 7 seasons running for them to get across the ocean to get there. They're finally here, so there you go, folks. So if you're a big fan of the show, I don't think this is going to be a season you're going to miss, especially considering it's the last one. So that's it. We are finished, folks. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and it's always a much shorter episode when I'm by myself. when it's just me alone going solo. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can always contact us at feedback at geekbypodcast.com, or if you want to support the show in any way, shape, or form, you can always just like us on social media, share the podcast, or you can find all the other ways you can do so at geekbytespodcast.com/support. And you can even check out our other podcast, which is going to be the Lit RPG podcast, where I review Lit RPG every week. And it's fun. I like it. The show too. But again, thanks for listening and watching. For geeking out with me, Ramon Mejia. And until I can hang out with you guys folks again, remember to go geek out about something.